So we have a lot to cover today, but I just first wanted to address what happened over the weekend. This was another disgusting act of political violence inspired by the left, and I'm just so thankful that everyone is okay. How are you feeling after watching what unfolded this weekend?
Well, I was at the dinner this weekend, and I got to tell you, there was very little security going into the building. You just had to show a ticket that could have just been mass produced. There was no electronic check-in. It was pretty much, are you going to the dinner? Okay, great. Just show your ticket, go on in. As we've seen with the shooter, he actually rented a hotel room
Mm.
in the Hilton and was basically had access to areas in the lobby where there was barely any security. If he wanted to take out a good chunk of people, he could have done it right in the lobby area because the security parameters were not that extensive. And as we could tell, we heard the shots during the dinner right after the president arrived and was seated at the head table with Mrs. Trump, Caroline Levitt, and J.D. Vance. And at that point, we saw basically the Secret Service take immediate action with the SWAT team coming out and positioning themselves to protect the president, move the cabinet members out of the area, and the rest of us, as I said, we were like sitting ducks, but we pretty much ducked under by the tables, waiting for further instruction. Of course, at that point, you're thinking to yourself, well, I mean, if there's a bomb that's detonated in the hotel room, what would that mean? There was so many questions that were left unanswered. At that point, I knew that I wanted to evacuate the building. We've been in these situations before, as I was in the White House back in the day of 9/11. So I went over to where Reverend Franklin Graham was and Greta Van Susteren and her husband and told them, let's move, let's just quietly exit. And what I noticed was obviously a lot of these other reporters trying to report live from the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Many of them were shell shocked. And some of them were saying the president's going to come back and speak. And I was like, that ain't going to happen. So at that point, we left and we were able to find the person who was driving, Franklin Graham, and exit the building as quickly as we could.